Hello and welcome to the Masons Kings Exbridge Depot. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Stephen Batten. As well as being a salesman for the Exbridge Depot, I'm also the self-propelled harvester specialist for the whole group. In light of the current situation with the COVID-19, we've taken the hard decision to postpone our usual forage harvester clinic at this time of year. So with that in mind, with a little help from the rest of the harvest team, we've produced a few short videos. In these videos you will see that Dan Wood is interviewing one of our valued customers, Sean Dale from the workshop is removing the processor, and Andrew Chave, our Exbridge demonstrator, is doing some openings around the front of the machine. Okay, so one of the other nice features of the machine is to be able to do a 33-degree V opening in the field. All you need is an impact gun that Andrew's using at the moment. That undoes the top latch, and all we're required to do is lift the header up, which then forms the split. So it gives us lovely access to our cutter head there to reset a blade or to inspect the blades. As well as a V opening that we can do in the field, if we do require to change the blades or a shear bar, we can swing around the front. We've been able to do this all the way since the 7000 series, so it's nothing new from a John Deere point of view, but lovely to watch. Andrew will show us now how it's done. So the bottom fixing is just on a screw which clamps up the bottom of the feed roll housing, and then the top, once again, we unlatch it using an impact gun. And all we do is then simply swing it round and put in our safety lock, and then it gives us full access to the cutter head there. This machine's currently got a 40 knife drum. There are 4 drums available, a 40, 48, 56 and 64 knife drums for different applications. Okay, that was nicely done, Andrew, thank you. Okay, so header wise for front equipment, we can sell Kempers from a 4-row right up to a 12-row, a Zern whole crop header, and most machines go out with a 639 grass pickup. If we just walk you around the machine now. So starting at the front, we have our crop compressor roller for levelling the lumps out. Behind that we then have the rake, which compresses the crop down onto our pickup tines to stop it from stalling. Nice and simple adjustment of our wheel equipment, hydraulic wheels. There's a couple of different options with the header. You can have the standard header, which this one is. We can also have a premium header for the large machines, which basically is everything is beefed up to make it heavier for the high horsepower machines. The machine can also have what we call a dual header drive. So that means that the pickup tines are tailor-made to the forward speed of the machine, and then the feed rollers and the auger are also then tied, so the machine is split into 2, so you can tailor-make them. If you get into some nice lumpy crops that your rake man's lovingly prepared for you, you can then tailor-make that to try and stretch the lumps out. So to learn more about the crop flow, let's look at a short video that John Deere produced for us.
The 8000 series features a completely new crop flow layout designed to improve throughput, chop quality and reduce fuel consumption. Built to handle much greater horsepower, all bearings, springs and components have all been uprated for increased performance and reliability. The toothed profile on the lower feed roll provides more aggressive handling of the crop as it forms an even mat between the 2 sets of feed rolls. The uprated springs provide more pressure than ever before, delivering a compact crop mat to the cutter head. The DuraDrum cutter head is a well-proven and highly versatile design, which offers a wide range of length of cut. Knives can also be changed quickly and easily with different knife combinations for different crops. For maize and whole crop, a kernel processor can be inserted into the crop flow. Positioned behind the front axle, it can be accessed via the service area behind the cab and lowered or removed from the crop flow for rapid changeover between crops. A wide choice of roller kernel processors are available for different crop types. For high throughput cutting, where it's essential every kernel is smashed, the next generation of our revolutionary kernel star is available.
To learn more about what is really the jewel of the crane, our NIR sensor, here's Dan Wood interviewing one of our customers.
Hi, my name's Dan Wood from the Masons Kings Farm site team. I'm here today with Adrian Webber from AJ Webber Contracting, who recently purchased a 9700i forage harvester, and he's been running it for the 2020 season. Adrian, if you'd like to tell us a little bit about your business and what you do.
Yeah, basically we would be focusing on precision chopped silage, grass, maize. Do quite a bit of maize silage, the important part of it. We also do soil stabilisation, groundworks, but the core of it is precision chopped silage, forage harvesting.
Brilliant. So you've had the Harvest Lab running on the forager for the last 12 months through the 2020 season.
Yep.
What was your initial thoughts about it when you came to looking to change your forage harvester?
Expensive. This was an ex-demo machine, so the Harvest Lab was on it, and we talked long and hard about it. For us, it's a lot of money, and I couldn't see if we're going to recoup that money back. The harvester itself is a massive investment. Would the Harvest Lab bring anything to it that I could charge on, or any big benefit to us in efficiency or output? Not so much, but efficiency, make our lives easier. But the decision was it was on there. If we're going to do it, then was the time to do it. So yeah, it stayed on there.
Fair enough.
The machine and away we went.
So how did you find it going forward through the first sort of season's use? Did you find it adding any value to what you were doing day to day?
We put a lot of time into it with the customers before we started. So we had a meeting at one of your depots with the customers to try and get them on board with it, because we tried to set them up with a My John Deere account. All the data is useful, but it needs to be manageable easily. No, they're not going to go through reams of paperwork to find out the tonnage, etc. So we put time into that. Then we started to use the mapping on the maize drill first, so we got them more on board in the drilling. I tried to make a real fact of putting in varieties, emphasising on how useful it would be. Then we moved on to the grass silage, which to begin with was a steep learning curve with them. We were harvesting and the dry matters were coming back. Sometimes it was, I'm not sure this is right, it's too high, it's too low, are you sure that's right, is the tonnage right? Which I wasn't hardly sure either, because it was new, but we worked with it, and you helped do it. We went back and reanalysed the first cut grass later on, and it did come back, it was accurate.
And did you find that information, once the customers were trusting it, did you find that useful in your day-to-day work?
Yeah, to begin with, not because they didn't trust it, it was almost not a nuisance, but it was creating another thing to worry about almost. But once they believed it, once we analysed that silage in the clamp, then almost straight away they trusted it, because they'd seen it with their own eyes, and then they would be ringing me asking, what is the dry matter of that crop? Do I TED it? Do I not? We've had times I've rung them, stop the mowers, it's getting too dry. Second and third cuts mainly. It's going to get too dry, stop for a bit, let us catch up, then go mowing again, almost straight ahead of the harvester to keep the dry matter where we want it. So
you found that information, being able to view it on the display in the cab, has allowed you to actively make decisions to make a better quality crop?
Yeah, make decisions in the field. So, and that's what it's all about, isn't it? It's about the customer and their crop. It's important. So if you can make that better in any way, that is the it's for them really, not me. It's for the customer to try and do the best job you can, and it does help you to just do the ultimate best job.
Yeah. And so the customers, once we did that testing in the clamp, analysing it against the nutritionist values, your customers, you found, were getting a lot more on board with it?
Yeah, totally, yeah. So to begin with, they were some were half on board and some were quite sceptical of it, but once we did, it was a lot of work, wasn't it? You helped.
Yeah.
It took time, it wasn't easy, but we persevered with it, and then, yeah, they did trust it. You can use it how many, you've got 2 pits to fill, a few hundred acres to do it. Sam on the buck rate might be, how much have you chopped? Oh, it's averaging this much a ton, we've got this many tons left. Oh yeah, we filled this clamp, we're good, we can fit it in. Need to put more in that clamp to make sure it goes in. It is, yeah, we found ourselves using it for reasons you wouldn't have thought.
Yeah.
Also the additive, a lot of them really like putting the additive on through the harvest lab.
Yeah.
So much a ton, and setting the chop length, the variable chop length through. So it all gradually gained momentum.
So it's knowing the value of the crop, the feed value of the crop, but also how you manage the crop through the field.
Yeah.
How you add additive to it, and how you change the chop length, and then equally where you put it, how much crop you got in each clamp.
Yeah. Pretty much. Yeah.
Brilliant.
And we've traded. Then we moved on to the maize silage, which a lot of customers would buy maize from off ground, or other farmers would grow maize from. So traditionally we count the number of loads, weigh 2 or 3 loads, average it out. Whereas now they were confident enough, we just did it off the harvest lab. So all that days of counting trailer loads and guesswork was taken out of it. This is what it was, this is what came from where, this is the dry matter of it, which I can see that becoming quite a big part of the future as farms get bigger. Buying crops, it's a lot of money, and I think it will move per tonne probably one day.
So obviously taking that data from the display and from the forager into the office through My John Deere, that's helped you give that data to the customers as well, hasn't it? Has that been useful to you?
Yeah, and that's probably one of the biggest problems, or not problem, worries I had with it when we first talked about it. I didn't want to spend, we're busy in the summer, it's bad enough to try and get the invoices out, let alone go through loads and loads of paperwork. But My John Deere is really easy. It's just they've all got an account almost straight away. As soon as I completed a field, I've got farmers that will be rolling the clamp, they look on the phone, oh, you've done that field, you're going over there now. And when it comes to invoicing, I can just ring them. Have you had a look at the maize harvest? Are you happy with those acres? Yeah, that's all good. And send the invoice. So it's made that paperwork, so actually I thought it'd make it harder, it's actually made it easier.
And on top of that, you're actually getting buy-in from the customers that they want to see this information now because they've got easy access to it.
Yeah, they are. I think, and I hope they are using it, but I think they are using it. That was my aim. I wanted them to use it because it's there. I didn't want to go to all the effort of trying to record it all properly, but I think they are using it, because I've had phone calls, how do I find this on My John Deere, which proves that they are looking at it when I'm not there, and between us we've got them going, and they are using it productively now, I think, as an asset to them for their business, which is good.
So overall it's been a good decision to have it on there for you.
Yeah, no, it has. Yeah, still hard to justify the cost of it, but it has. Yeah, no, it has. I think now if I sold this machine, I'd probably have to have it on the next one, and that's probably the proof of it. I think I'd get questions, oh, have you not got that anymore? That's a shame. That was good. So I'd lose work, but they have got to like it, and I think now it's probably here to stay. And moving forward, it's the way it's going to go for sure. Yeah, so.
Perfect. Well, thank you for your time for that.
No problem at all.
Perfect.
You're welcome.
So now I'm on top of Adrian's 9700, and here we can see the Harvest Lab. So the Harvest Lab sensor uses NIR technology to sense the product as it goes through the chute. It works in conjunction with the 4640 universal display in the cab and the Starfire receiver on the roof of the machine. So as I said, the Harvest Lab uses NIR technology to sense the product as it goes through the spout. It takes over 4,000 readings per second and analyses both the dry matter of the crop as well as the nutritional value. So it analyses things such as protein, starch, sugar, NDF, ADF and crude fibre, as well as looking at moisture. The Harvest Lab can also be easily removed from the machine and used in a stationary mode to analyse clamp silage, and can also be fitted onto slurry tankers, umbilical systems to look at the nutrient value of slurry or digestate as it's supplied to the ground.
Okay, so one of the big benefits of the Sapapel Forager is the way we can take the KP in and out, as will be eagerly shown by Sean here in under 5 minutes. So basically what's going on now is Sean is pulling out the processor, which automatically brings in the grass chute. By winding the handle, it's a nice smooth transition between the two systems. This is all being done in real time, so a bit of time, Sean. Okay, so once all the way out, we just need to slip off the drive belts to the processor. The processor that's currently in this machine is just a standard premium one. You can fit an Extreme KP, which is an oil-cooled machine. Electric supply to the auto lube being unplugged. Okay, so the processor is held in by 2 large bolts, which is duly undone. Okay, so once all the locating bolts are taken out, we will then attach the winch, the hydraulic winch we've got here. So on with the winch cable, electrics. And there it is, being swung out. Then being lowered to the ground to be put on a pallet. There we go. Nicely done, Sean. Thank you very much. From a serviceability point of view, due to the large composite panels, accessibility is excellent. Again, Andrew will show us through this now. So the left hand side panel, just a simple clip, lifts up out of the way. The rear of the machine, same system. All the filters on the machine are all in one place as well, which is nice. Nice for accessibility and ease of serviceability. To gain further access, the mudguard just simply lifts off. Stop up. Just to finish off, to let you know that we are still going to maintain our demo program as normal. In grass this year we're going to run an 8600 and in maize a 9700. So with that in mind, we'll look forward to meeting you in the field for an on-farm demonstration.